Can I firstly say I've had a preliminary report and advice from the Chief of the Defence Force, but I've asked for further detail and further advice, and I'm expecting to get that tonight. When I'm in a position to, I'll obviously make further public comments. I expect that to be tomorrow. I equally expect that tomorrow, after I've dealt with those matters, that senior officials or officers from Defence will also be available to respond to your queries. But let me deal with a number of matters. Firstly, I thought it very important to draw to public attention that at 11 o'clock this morning, the young woman concerned was subject to a hearing under the Defence Disciplinary Proceedings Act, the Defence Discipline Act. The hearing related to matters that occurred in March, entirely unrelated to the circumstances and events that we've been dealing with in the course of the day. They related to suggestions or allegations of being absent without leave or with the consumption of alcohol. This matter was listed on my advice for hearing today some days or week ago. When I was informed of this by the CDF this afternoon, mid-afternoon, my response was swift and clear. Firstly, completely insensitive for such a hearing to be held on a day like today. Secondly, despite the fact that I'm told that the girl, the young woman, agreed to the proceedings and pleaded guilty, it seems to me, in the scale of complete insensitivity to complete stupidity, that this matter was allowed to proceed. And I've asked the Chief of the Defence Force to urgently advise me as to whether it is possible and open for this guilty plea and conviction to be quashed. My reason for doing that is that it's quite clear on her own advice to the public that this young woman is in a distressed state and under a lot of pressure. I would not believe, and I've long been a lapsed lawyer, but I would not believe that any young person would be in a position to make clear or sensible judgments about such matters on a day like today. The sensible thing to do was to postpone the hearing and come back to it at another day. My own view is, for what it's worth, and it may be worth nothing, is that the conviction should be quashed. That's the first matter that I wanted to draw to public attention. I think it's important that that is known. My preliminary advice is that this decision or conviction under the Disciplinary Procedures Act will be reviewed in the normal course of events by a legal officer or by a senior or superior officer. And one avenue for quashing it is an error of law. My own judgment is that an error of law has occurred, but that'll be a matter for others. Secondly, can I indicate, because I've been asked in the course of the day, has the young woman been granted compassionate leave? The advice I have from the CDF this afternoon is that the young woman has been granted compassionate leave, but she has been asked, both by the Defence Force and by the Australian Federal Police, to make a